Hi conservation crew, and we are in Greece. We're actually on our honeymoon, but we couldn't come to a nature spot and not do a nature diaries, so welcome to another nature diaries. We're on Skiathos Island. It's absolutely gorgeous, and this is kind of the first day that we've ventured out on a little adventure, so we thought we'd bring you along, and we're really hoping to see some really cool bird life and hopefully some lizards, because we're desperate to see some reptiles. So let's see what we can find. So I'm not going to pretend to know loads about this area, but it's called Koukounaries and it is a nature reserve. So obviously we gravitated here, but there is some epic bird life which we are desperate to see, and there's something called a beautiful flamingo. Now it's not actually a flamingo, it looks more like a stork or a pelican. They're like some kind of weird morph of the two. Obviously its own species, but they're really stunning birds, like pink legs, yellow faces, pretty out there. So we're really hoping that we'll see some today, so fingers crossed. Something I must say about this island so far is it's so green. It's a very small island. It only takes half an hour in a car to go from one end to the other, but it is absolutely covered in pines and just beautiful greenery. So although it is so hot, I've actually been struggling with the heat. It's like 32 degrees most days. It's still a really green, luscious place, so really lovely. So far we've walked from the bus stop through the pine forests, and we've made it to the beach, and now we're going to walk around the lake. Now we've seen some ducks and some swans, but we want to find some wading birds and things, so let's keep looking. Just found some rabbit poo. Now there are hares on this island as well, so you never know, we could see a hare if we're lucky. We've just been walking along a path that should go around the lake, but we've just come across a huge bull and a little goat, and while I could probably take the goat on, I don't want to take on a bull. So if you ever come across bulls especially, don't approach them, they could seriously injure you. And me and Stu are trained in livestock handling, so it's just not, we always err on the side of caution. You never know what the temperament of the animal is, so it's always better just to turn around, find another route. wander around Koukounaries beach and the lake and things. It's actually really small, doesn't take long to look around. So we've decided to walk up to another beach which is about 2 kilometers away, called Elias, and there's sand dunes there, so we're hoping there might be some reptiles up there. So who knows, but come along with us. What you just heard in the last clip was a bug or an insect called cicada, and you find them basically all over Europe. Also you hear them more than you see them, but I saw them and heard them a lot in Asia years ago as well. But they're quite a sizable insect, and they spend the majority of their lifetime as grubs underground, but when they emerge they go up into the trees and they create some of the loudest noises an insect makes, and it's the males that make the noise trying to attract females. But just the air's filled with it all day every day. It doesn't matter where you are on this island, you hear cicadas. And I would love to get a bit of footage of one, but they're really hard to spot, and they're usually quite high up in the trees because they're quite shy. But they can live up to 5 years in the wild, which is pretty insane for an insect. But I'll try and get some, but I'm not promising anything.
So this morning we were on the wetlands and coast path, and this one's the dunes and mountain path. So there's some really cool walking paths there. This one's a bit longer than this morning, which is good because it was quite short this morning. But we're in a beautiful forest of stone pines. So all these amazing trees around us are stone pines, and they're actually protected in this area. But you can probably just see over my shoulder here, there's been lots of clearances, and that's because of the fire risk. It's like tinder dry in here. So there's lots of warnings: do not smoke, no naked flames, numbers for the fire brigade. There's even hydrants where fire trucks can just plug in. And you're probably aware over recent years Greece has had some terrible wildfires, so you can see here there's some mitigation in place to try and stop it. But it would be a shame to lose this beautiful habitat you can see over my shoulder. And also Laura, say hello. Hi. And Laura as well, beautiful habitat. So this is an I think moment, so if you can help us out, please comment in the comments. But Laura mentioned about the cicadas, and they actually live underground for quite a few years, and then what they do, they climb out and then they'll transform into their adults. So we've seen some of the casings where they break out a bit like dragonflies in the UK. Obviously coming from ponds, these guys come from underground. So we just found a tree with loads of the casings on, which we think might be from the nymphs to the cicadas. But we don't know, we don't live around there, you know, it's not our native wildlife, but we're guessing based on what we've seen and read. But let us know if we're wrong, and if we are wrong, what actually are these amazing things climbing up the trees?
So we've just been to Elias Beach, and it was very beautiful, very windy. We're on the western side of the island, and that was as north as you can go on this side, all the way from the south. So it's definitely a slight climate difference from one end to the other. It was too choppy to go swimming. We're trying to find a spot where we can do some decent snorkeling, so stay tuned for that. But I'm going to close this particular video. I don't know if I'll do another Nature Diaries on this trip, so if we do some snorkeling, I'll probably just carry on and add it in here. But I hope you enjoyed exploring some of Skiathos with us, and yeah, see you in the next one. Hi conservation crew, so it's a new day and we've come and found a quiet little beach that's a bit more rocky than the sandy beaches we've been to so far, so that we can hopefully do some snorkeling. So if this goes well, upcoming will be some footage of some beautiful wildlife underwater. It turns out this is quite a good spot for snorkeling. It's really like stony, pebbly beach and lots of rocks and things. Spent a fair amount of time in there. Hopefully I've got some decent footage, who knows. I've not been in the water snorkeling since 2019, so pre-COVID. I'm a bit rusty. It took me a while to get back into the swing of it. But it's really lovely down there. There's parrotfish and, well, I'm going to have to identify a load of them. But there's also a lot of rubbish. So it is a problem, and I found this net, which I'll take some footage of, but I found this net in the water and it was literally invisible until I got right up to it. It was actually quite scary. It just shows how like effective fishing nets are, because they're invisible to fish and they just swim into them and get trapped. So yeah, but it was a really lovely little swim. We'll probably come back here a few times before we go home. Just sat on the cliff to cool off, and now we're going to wander into town for some lunch. While I was on the beach, I had a little bag with me, so I did a little litter pick, because why not? It's good for the environment to remove the rubbish. So next time you're on a beach, make sure you do the same. Even if you just pick up one thing, it's better than nothing. So I don't know if this is the end of this video or not, who knows. Might just be a really long nature diaries in Skiathos, but who knows, we'll see. Hello conservation crew, and it is a new day in Skiathos, Greece, and we've decided to come and do a little trail a little bit closer to home. So we got off the bus that runs pretty much all day for €2 to €3 a trip, and we got off at stop number 13, and we're going to do a circular, and this is called Route 12. There's forest and beach, and we're just hoping to spot some wildlife, so let's go. We just stopped on this absolutely gorgeous beach, probably the nicest one we've found so far. It's not too big, not too busy, although it is about 11 o'clock, so it could get busier, who knows. It's absolutely stunning. I can't get over how clear the water is on this island. It's so lush, and like, you can just get straight in the sea. There's no messing about. It's the perfect temperature. So I think we're probably going to come back here in a couple of days for a little beach day, a bit of snorkeling. You can see the mountains in the background. So I'm just going to sit here for a minute and just admire the view. Hi guys, I just realised that I've been making this video and I've not really said anything on camera for a couple of days. So the footage you just saw was on a local beach. I will put what it was called on the screen somewhere. And we found some terrapins or some freshwater turtles and some crabs and some swans and some fish and things. Last night a gecko finally graced us with its presence and came and lived with us in our room at the hotel. And a praying mantis landed on our balcony, which was really, really cool. So there is, you know, some cool wildlife here, beautiful scenery, but we're going home today, so I just need to close the video really and say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed Skiathos with us, and see you in the next one.